September 1683. The fate of Western Europe hangs by a thread. The Ottoman Empire was the greatest superpower of its day. It marched a colossal army of 150,000 men. This army reached the very gates of Vienna. Led by the ambitious Grand Vizier Kara Mustafa Pasha, they bring with them siege artillery. It is the most advanced the world has ever seen. Inside the city, terror reigns. The Holy Roman Emperor Leopold I has already fled. He left behind a terrified populace. A heavily outnumbered garrison of just 15,000 men defends Vienna. It is commanded by Count Ernst Rudiger von Starhemberg. Starhemberg is a hardened veteran. He gives a stark order. Anyone caught surrendering will be immediately executed. He orders the suburbs outside the city walls burned. This denies the Ottomans any cover. When Kara Mustafa arrives, he demands immediate surrender. Starhemberg refuses. The siege begins. The Ottoman artillery roars to life. It pounds the ancient walls of Vienna day and night. But the true danger lies beneath the earth. The Ottomans are master miners. They dig complex networks of tunnels beneath the city walls. They pack them with hundreds of pounds of black powder. Explosion after explosion shatters the outer defenses, creating massive breaches. The defenders rush to plug the gaps. They fight brutal, hand-to-hand combat amidst the rubble and smoke. Boiling pitch, rocks, and grenades are hurled down upon the attackers. This is a desperate bid to hold the line. Weeks turn into months. Inside Vienna, supplies are rapidly dwindling. Disease spreads through the cramped, terrified civilian population. Rats and stray animals become a luxurious meal. The defenders are starving, exhausted, and running out of ammunition. By early September, the situation is critical. The Ottomans have captured the outer fortifications. They are undermining the main walls. Starhemberg sends desperate messages down the Danube River, pleading for relief. Unbeknownst to the starving defenders, a massive relief force is gathering. It is in the forests to the west. The Pope has called for a holy league. This unites the fractured kingdoms of Europe against a common enemy. Tens of thousands of German, Bavarian, and Saxon troops are marching toward Vienna. But the vanguard of this relief army is something far more terrifying. It is terrifying to the Ottomans. It is the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, led by their warrior king, Jan III Sobieski. Sobieski brings with him the most feared heavy cavalry in Europe. They are called the Winged Hussars. They are clad in heavy armor. They wield massive 18-foot lances. They also wear enormous wooden wings covered in eagle feathers. These wings are designed to emit a terrifying howling sound. They do this as they charge. This strikes fear into the hearts of their enemies. On September the 11th, the relief army takes position on the Kahlenberg Heights. These heights overlook the besieged city. Below them, the sprawling Ottoman encampment stretches. It reaches as far as the eye can see. Kara Mustafa is arrogant and dismissive of the European threat. He makes a fatal tactical error. He decides against abandoning the siege to face the relief army. Instead, he splits his forces. He attempts to take the city and defend his rear simultaneously. Dawn breaks on September the 12th. The Battle of Vienna begins. The German infantry advances down the slopes. They engage the elite Ottoman janissaries in vicious woodland fighting. For hours, the battle rages in the vineyards and hillsides. This occurs outside the city. The Ottomans fight tenaciously. However, the combined European forces slowly push them back. Inside the city, Starhemberg sees the battle unfolding. He orders his remaining men to sally forth. They attack the Ottoman trenches. By late afternoon, the Ottoman lines are beginning to buckle. However, they are still holding. Then King Sobieski gives the order. This order will change the course of history. From the edge of the forest, 18,000 cavalrymen emerge. The sun glints off their armor. At the center are the 3,000 Polish Winged Hussars. They are heavily armored and ready for the kill. Sobieski draws his sword, points it at the Ottoman center, and signals the charge. It is the largest cavalry charge in the history of warfare. 18,000 horses thunder down the hillside. The ground shakes beneath their hooves. The howling of the hussars' wings fills the air. It sounds like a horde of screaming demons. These demons are descending from the mountains. The exhausted Ottoman infantry is already battered by the German assault. They turn to face this unstoppable avalanche of steel. They fire a single, desperate volley. However, it does nothing to slow the momentum of the charge. The winged hussars slam into the Ottoman lines. They do so with the force of a hurricane. 18-foot lances shatter shields, armor, and men. They obliterate the front ranks instantly. The Ottoman formation completely collapses in panic and confusion. The heavy cavalry carves a bloody path. It goes straight toward the tent of the Grand Vizier himself. Kara Mustafa attempts to rally his men, but the rout is absolute. The entire Ottoman army breaks and flees in terror. They leave behind all their artillery, tents, and supplies. The siege is broken. Vienna is saved. The Battle of Vienna marks the high-water mark of the Ottoman Empire. This was in Europe. They would never threaten the continent so deeply again. As for Kara Mustafa, the Sultan was unforgiving of the humiliating defeat. On Christmas Day, 1683, the Grand Vizier was executed. This happened in Belgrade. He was killed by strangulation with a silk cord, and the winged hussars passed into legend. They are forever remembered as the saviors of Europe.